This time I'd like to call up the members of our Hall of Fame committee for a special presentation. While the committee is coming up to the top here, I just want to thank the school district and White Plains High School for this opportunity to make a special presentation to Art Monk. My name is Chuck Stogel. I'm the president of the new White Plains High School Athletics Hall of Fame. White Plains High School has had teams now in various sports for 120 years. And the school has had more than a few absolutely outstanding athletes over those years. For the past 3 or 4 years, a committee has been working to create and launch the White Plains High School Athletics Hall of Fame. As Nick Pinero pointed out, next Friday evening at 6 o'clock, we'll have our first inductions for that Sports Hall of Fame. Everyone is invited. There'll be a reception afterwards as well. There is no charge for admission, so it'll be Friday evening, November 13th. I'll be right here in the Media Center. Unfortunately, due to scheduled conflicts, Art Monk won't be able to be with us next week. So this morning, we would like to take this opportunity to present Art with his plaque in conjunction with his induction as one of those 15 absolutely outstanding athletes and individuals who are members of our very first induction class. Eventually, we plan to have a display of all the plaques that we'll be presenting, duplicate plaques here in White Plains High School in the gym building. You've heard some of Art's statistics already from some previous speakers. I'll just mention a few things. In addition to his Pro Football Hall of Fame, College Football Hall of Fame, All-American at Syracuse University, and the outstanding football and track athlete he was here at White Plains High School. In the NFL, 940 receptions, 68 touchdowns, 12,721 yards. He was also selected to the NFL's All-Decade team for the 1980s. But more than sports as well, in our acknowledgments, we want to recognize Art also as an avid supporter of both youth sports and educational programs, and as witness to that, we're all here this morning. So without further ado, I think Sue has the actual plaque. Inducted, White Plains High School first Athletics Hall of Fame class, November 2015. Congratulations and thank you, Art Monk.
I thought the whole idea of me coming was for me to honor you, not for you to honor me again. But again, I'm so appreciative, and I'm just, you can't see the picture, but it's funny. I don't have all that up here anymore. But again, it's hard to express sometimes how I really feel about this community of White Plains, and obviously White Plains High School. You know, I grew up on Battle Hill, and you know, played football in the streets, played curveball, stickball. I mean, you name it. I love sports. That's all I ever wanted to do. But I never ever thought that that desire would take me as far as it did. In fact, it would not have if it hadn't been for the role of key individuals in this community and within this school that helped me get there. So when people talk about, you know, there was a comment last night from one of the ladies, I can't remember her name, that talked about my humility, and it's easy for me to stand up here and talk about how great I was or what I did in the past. But I can't do that because I never would have gotten there if it weren't for those people who intervened in my life, who met me at crossroads, at very critical parts of my life, to help change the course of my life, in the direction of where I was going. So I can't brag about what I did. In fact, I shy away from all of the accolades because I know deep down in here of what really allowed me to get there. And so, you know, a lot of the dignitaries who are here today weren't here when I was here, but Coach Woodard was. Where did he go? Okay, not Coach Woodard, Daniel Woodard was. I have some teammates that were here, and all of them, and I have my nurse. Markey. I wanted to say Parker, but it's Markey. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember your name. But I spent time in her office, in the nurse department, and she took care of me. She took great care of me. But it's moments like that, and moments where the coaches would pull me aside, the administrators would pull me aside, and just give me a heads up and say, hey, you can't keep living your life this way. And Coach Pinero made a comment about the hurdles. I didn't want to run the hurdles. Jumping over something wasn't something I was used to doing. In fact, I joined the track team because my friends convinced me to join. It was just something to do after practice, and I didn't want to run. I threw the shot put my first year. Threw the shot put through 52 feet, something like that, 53 feet, which was, you know, okay. And so one day at practice, it was before we were going out, the guys who were running the hurdles, you know, challenged me to a race. I said, well, I can beat you over the hurdles, and I don't even run the hurdles, and you run the hurdles. So we went out and we had a race for like 40 yards or something, and I beat him. And then the coach was standing way or down on the other end of the field, and I didn't know he was standing over there. And he says, you're running the hurdles this weekend. So that's how that all started. But it's little moments like that that I can't take the credit for. I give the credit to those individuals who took the time and went out of their way to kind of help me, put me on the right track. And so again, I'm so thankful for all of you for what you've done and what I know that you will continue to do. Thank you so much.
How did playing football here at White Plains High School prepare you for college and the pros?
Well, you know, I loved football, but I didn't necessarily like working. You know, so practice wasn't my favorite part, and so I would take it easy during practice, and then the game time is when I wanted to play. So when I got here on this level, the coach, you know, obviously wasn't going to allow that. So I learned how to train and work hard and give my best every time, whether it was a game or a practice situation. Well, obviously your academics, you can't go very far without that. Your athletics are only going to take you so far. So your academics and your character, who you are as a person, is what's going to really allow you to be successful for a long time, for the rest of your life.
And you're already a member of the school's Hall of Fame, but now you're going to be inducted, one of 50 people inducted into the school's sports Hall of Fame. Just your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm just honored. You know, I've achieved a lot of levels of awards, and obviously this one means a lot to me because it's where everything started for me. It's White Plains is where I was born, it's where I was raised, where I grew up. It's where people imparted life lessons that I was able to live by and to become the person I am today. So this really means a lot to me. You know, when I think of White Plains athletics, I think of all of the other outstanding athletes that really were before me, you know, particularly on the track and field. You know, guys like, you know, Rainey, Nichols, Hill, and just to name a few. And so to be considered to go into the Hall of Fame with the first class, along with guys of that caliber, it just really means a lot.